Joining us now, Louisiana Congressman and House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. It's good to see you. Good to have you on this morning, and I'm going to ask you to conjecture about things that none of us really probably know the answer to. We did have the markets up a little bit more. A headline came out that Bagheri, one of Iran's chief negotiators, says Tehran is determined to maintain its right over the management of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the market may have weakened a little, but oil is not really moving higher. And oil has been a pretty good barometer of how the talks are going and about what the eventual outcome is going to be on these things, Leader Scalise. So I'm just wondering, do you have any insight into what's happening in Doha or wherever we're conducting the talks now?
Well, they said they want to meet with the president again. This has been going on, the negotiations. I think they realize the president's serious because I don't think they've dealt with a president that is, frankly, willing to take the kind of actions that President Trump's taken. I mean, he's taken out their Navy, he's taken out their nuclear facilities. So this is a president who's not going to play games. But at the same time, the Iranians are just not used to playing by other people's rules or by world rules. I mean, they slaughter their own people. So at the end of the day, I think they're coming along very reluctantly, but they're going to have to come along. And so you're seeing the price of oil reflected. I mean, barrel of oil today, like you said, in the low 70s. It was hovering around 100 just a month and 2 months ago. And so, I think the volatility has calmed down, which is what the world wants to see. And that shows you that most people think that Iran is finally recognizing their fate.
Right. I know you want to talk about the upcoming midterms, some of the elections we had recently in New York and other places. With the midterms coming up, do you think the president will sign this housing bill? Is it important that he does that? Does it matter? He called it a yawn because he definitely wants the voter ID or the SAVE Act passed. That's his priority.
Well, I want the SAVE Act, too. We passed the Save America Act multiple times through the House, and it's sitting over in the Senate. But the housing bill is very important. I mean, this is a bill that will lower housing costs. It will become law. Let's be clear about that. I'd like the president to sign the bill because I think it's going to help the president. It's going to help American families. French Hill, his committee, working with Tim Scott in his committee, did a really good job at focusing on what some of the problems are in housing, removing red tape, allowing more housing to be built both for homeowners and for renters. Both of those areas of the market are depressed, and this bill is going to help ease that and lower the cost to build that housing. So I'd like to see the bill get signed and let the president take a victory lap because it's something that he helped negotiate, and it's going to be good for the economy, like so many other things this president has done for the economy that you see finally starting to move in the right direction.
You think Republicans licking their chops when they see everyone talking about socialism in these recent elections? Is if the energy is there in the Democratic Party, I guess you would view that as a mixed blessing. I mean, they do have a lot of energy, but is it bad for the overall nationally?
Yeah, because ultimately swing voters will decide this midterm election like they do in every midterm, but the number of swing districts has gotten much more narrow. And swing voters do not want socialism. Frankly, a lot of Democrats don't want socialism. So as you point out, yes, the hardcore Democrat base is very motivated. Frankly, there's going to be a lot of Republican voters motivated, too, because it's going to be a contrast election, and they realize what the stark choice is. These radical socialists want to come in and impeach Donald Trump day one. But they want to reverse the gains we've made. They want to raise taxes. They want to raise energy prices. Remember, these are all the same people that want to shut down the fossil fuel industry in America. So if you want to see higher gas prices, vote for a socialist. If you want to see higher housing costs, vote for a socialist, because they promise everything. Everything's going to be free, but as you know, there is no such thing as a free lunch. And go look at all the countries where they've promised all those very same things. It ends really badly for the people, especially low-income people. They're the ones who pay the highest price for socialism, and America's not going to let that happen.